Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got my pickups and experience here from C3. That's the Cartridge Club convention that happened just this past July. And I'm a little late on the videos here, so the other clubbers have definitely got their videos out pretty quickly for the most part. And I'm a little bit late here because I had a lot of things going on. After Chicago, I ended up doing Caravana here in Toronto, so I had a lot of things I had to do for that because my wife and I were making costumes and just getting ready for that. And also the day after Caravana, we went to the Dominican Republic for a week. So I've been sort of out of commission here, haven't been thrifting too much, well, really at all, except for one day between Chicago and now. So that's basically where I'm at with that. But to talk about the C3 event that was happening in Chicago, is wonderful, wonderful event. I got to meet a whole bunch of YouTubers that I don't normally think I would ever get a chance to meet up with. And the event itself wasn't like necessarily like a game swap like I'm used to going to. This was something that was set up at a Holiday Inn in a hotel, and a whole bunch of people came from all over the place to meet up there. And I think there was like somewhere in excess of about like 35 people or something like that. I don't know, something ridiculous like that. But I met a whole bunch of people that I've seen in videos or heard in podcasts, but never actually had an opportunity to meet them in person until now, and that was really great opportunity. I'm not going to go around naming off names too much here, just because I don't want to forget anyone. Like I said, there was like 35 people at this event, but what an amazing community. Everybody's like super supportive, and if you are not a member of the Cartridge Club and you have any interest whatsoever in joining, it's not like there's a membership fee. It's not like there's anything to get in. You just have to be an enthusiast for video games, have a positive attitude, contribute to the community as much as possible, and you're good to go. There is no real like massive requirements other than those kinds of things. So it's an open community, it's family friendly, and all the people there are really wonderful people. So if you haven't joined yet and you're interested in the slightest, I highly recommend that you do that. If you want to check it out, the C3 shirt, they actually made some t-shirts here. I got it. So it's Cartridge Club Chicago 2018, and it's just a little logo there. So pretty cool. Really great event. Like I said, a lot of people took like video and everything like that. I didn't really get into that. I probably should have. Let me get into my pickups here. This is pretty awesome. So I'll start with the one thing that I didn't get in Chicago. This is one thing I found when I was thrifting, and the price was right on it. It's Plants vs. Zombies on the DS, and it was $2, which you don't see that very often for a complete DS game that isn't some kiddie title type of thing. So pretty cool right there, and I'm gonna add that into the collection for sure. Moving on, I guess here come the Chicago pickups. So one of the deals that I made with Nintendo Hodge, he really hooked me up on this. I'm not going to mention prices, but it's well below the sticker price on this one. And this is Battle Blaze, which is basically like a like one-on-one fighting type of thing, sort of like Street Fighter, but with more medieval kind of, I don't know if it's medieval or barbarian or whatever kind of fighters. Not highly like sought after necessarily, but I hadn't seen it before in the wild, so I asked him about it and he gave me a killer deal on that. So thank you, Haji, for that one. And just a reminder, since I'm on about that, on the 26th of August is going to be the next Barrie Game Exchange. So if you are in that area, you're in the Toronto GTA area, Barrie area, anywhere, if you're willing to travel, it's definitely worth it. It's the premier event, it seems like now. In Ontario, it seems like it's the biggest swap with the most tables. So well done, Haji, building that over the course of many years, and I'm looking forward to it because, again, I'm going to get to see some more Cartridge Club members there. So I'm going to be going there on the 26th. I'm pretty happy about that, and that sort of piggybacks off of that idea. Another thing that worked out was picking up one of these. I got this from Bill from STC Pod, and of course another Cartridge Club member. But check it out. So this is pretty cool. I think I have like a gold sort of version. I think it was like a Zelda type version. I'm not sure. It only came loose when I got it a few videos back there. But I wanted to get my hands on one of these because you could connect this up to Super Nintendo Classic or NES Classic, which I picked up in my latest video. and just kind of wanted to get another controller for that because the NES only came with one. So I thought this was a good option since the controllers are hard to find, and this is like a pretty good quality controller. Plus also on this one, from what I've heard, is you can use the home button to get back to the menus instead of having to like hit reset and all that kind of thing. So pretty cool right there. And we're working on a trade for that, so I'm bringing some stuff to Barry for Bill to take a look at or get or whatever, you know, however we want to work it out. But he gave me that sort of in good confidence type of thing. Moving on from there, James Retro Pixel hooked up a whole bunch of people with SD cards or micro SD cards, and these are for our Nintendo Switch, as he said. And he just basically walked around one of the rooms we were hanging out in one night and started handing these out like crazy. So I don't know how many he had on him, but he was handing out a ton of these. So he gave me one of these, and I'm gonna happily put that on my Switch because my Switch doesn't even have any SD card in it, but it does now. So pretty happy with that. I did another deal with Q Dogs, Mighty Q Dog himself, and he hooked me up with 2 Game Boy games, which is one is R-Type DX, which I have the sort of the non Game Boy Color version of that, so I was pretty pumped to get that one just because it's, you know, a little upgraded from the original one that I have, and then also a copy of Donkey Kong, and I didn't have either of these in my collection, and again he hooked it up like super bro price on those ones, so I was pretty happy with that for sure. And then Derek from Two Dorks hooked me up with this, which are a couple of Nintendo dust sleeves, and I'm always after these, so I need them. The way I display my games, I really use these to protect them from sticking to the shelves and all that kind of thing. So really cool right there. He just set me up with those. And then I walked into a bunch of us. I took a little journey one of the days there, and we went to Half Price Books, and I picked up a couple of things that, although aren't video game related, are gaming related. As soon as we get going here on our second edition D&D events, and that is the Complete Thief's Handbook. And it's in really excellent shape. I mean, the pages are a little bit yellowed, but I think that just adds to, you know, the look of it, to be honest. And really nice shape for the age of this book. And really pleased to find this one. And it was $10, which is a pretty good deal because I was trying to work a deal with the next book locally, and somebody was just sort of like massively overpricing them. Right now I have a bookmark in it because I'm sort of reading through it, and that is the Wizard's Handbook. And so my character for second edition right now is going to be a wizard, so I figured this would be a great addition to that character. And you can see again, it's in excellent shape, and it was $10, so I thought that was a pretty cool deal all around right there, because like I said, locally somebody wanted way more than they were going for on eBay, and to have them shipped again would have cost me even more than that. So that was $10 US each, but well worth it in my honest opinion. So that's that. During the event, there was lots of different things going on. We went to a arcade that's like huge, massive arcade called Galloping Ghost. So we went there one night, went up for pizza a bunch of different nights. I could go on and on all the different things that were going down that weekend, but a really good time. If you haven't checked out the Galloping Ghost, I highly recommend going to check that out. If you can find some like footage of it or anything like that, or a review of it or something like that, it is an amazing arcade. Everything retro. My wife and son and I played through a couple games. So we played through one of the Spider-Man games, which is our Spider-Man like arcade game type thing. It was really cool, and we beat that, so that was kind of fun. And beat Sunset Riders, so that was pretty cool too. And just a really great time. Wish I had more time to spend there, because I think they have like, I don't know how many hundreds of cabinets they have there, so I barely scratched the surface. I sort of started in like a second aisle, just away from the front, because there was a lot of people sort of in the front of it kind of thing, because they were all coming in, a lot of people coming in at the same time. So I just kind of went to like the second row, and I didn't even make it like halfway down that row. And the time that we were there, and that was a few hours, just playing the ones that were in that row. So really good place. If you don't know about it though, check it out. Like I said, it's Galloping Ghost. Really cool arcade. One of the nights, some of the club members were playing a game in one of the rooms, so they were hanging out and they're playing on a Switch. And I just got a Switch recently, and I was looking for game recommendations. I was watching them play this, which totally debunks that idea that it isn't fun. to watch people play video games. It is fun. And if you don't like that opinion, you can go argue that with somebody else. But I was watching these guys play this game and really enjoying it. I was thoroughly entertained by what was going on with it. Just what was the teamwork in the room and what was going on screen is really, really fun. And I think this game is probably going to be a little bit of a not hidden gem or something not like that. I think just down the line you're not gonna be able to find copies of it too readily. I'm not a Switch expert though, that's for sure, so I can't necessarily guarantee that. But this is when I got home, I went online, checked all the EB games I could, like to see which ones had this available. There was one copy used, and I went and snatched it up, and it was around 30 bucks I think for it, but it's Snipper Clips cut it together. So really cool there, or Snipper Clips Plus. Really fun. My son and my wife and I were playing this the other night and thoroughly enjoying it, solving all the puzzles and trying to work together and figure it out. And if you've not checked this one out, again, go check it out. This is so much fun. It was well worth the purchase, and really happy to add this one into the Switch collection. So that being said, if you haven't checked out the Cartridge Club, I highly recommend that you do that. Go join, go to the forums, go check it out, see if it's for you. Really positive community, and there is no like, fee to enter or whatever. There's no hoops you have to go through to enter. If you want to be a member, you just come on over and sign up, and as long as you have a positive attitude, you can stick around. That's everything I got for you this time around. Thanks again for watching. I'd like to thank all the people that organized the C3 event. It was really fun, and I'm looking forward to the next one. So hopefully we can get some discussion going around where we want to go next summer. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all later.